what regions are showing the most momentum in clean energy investment and why? So perhaps we could stay with you on that one.
Okay, in Europe, you mean?
Europe or globally, if we have that context.
Yeah, okay. We have seen some in India, they are using quite a lot of clean energy lately. They are taking advantage of the climate, of the situation there. And they are very, I don't know, very much enterprise driven, and they have advanced quite a lot on that. In Europe, where we have seen in the Iberian Peninsula, quite a lot of renewables coming into place. Yeah, we can say we had then the blackout, but that's another issue there. The blackout is because the more renewables come into place, the more you need also to modernize the grid. So then we are now into another situation. It's not only the renewables, it's the grid. So we need to invest in the grid. We need to invest on more technology around it. So then we don't have these situations that are happening that could happen in the future. So yes, we have seen that some heat pumps have been replacing quite a lot of gas boilers in certain countries in Europe. So we have seen all that. Sometimes also demand side management has been really important when they tried to reduce the peaks of demand, both on electricity and on gas too.
Thank you, Anna Maria. I'm going to jump in here if I could, because that's an interesting question, which I think we can open up to the rest of the panel, because they'll all have a take here. Gill, you said that you're approaching your next funding round. So what do you see when it comes to regional interest showing interest in clean energy investment? I think you're on mute there, Gill.
My apologies. I think it's a very interesting topic. We had the luck that we are very well supported by the European Innovation Council. And so we got European funding. And it shows that Europe is not only aiming at sequestration of CO2, but are also thinking about utilization of CO2. So we are very well represented by Europe in that field. But actually, when we started, we aimed also at regional and national funding. And to be honest, there's a lot of, I would say, interest in this specific domain that we are in. And it will be necessary, because there, as much as interest there is from, I would say, governmental side, the interest, but that's mainly due to geopolitical issues of industry, or let's say the investments made by industry have been decreased to almost zero over the last 6 months. And that's something that we will need to make up for with additional funding coming from these I would say governmental bodies, and that's what you see happening at the moment, to be honest.
A lot of clusters of innovation in the Netherlands and Belgium, Tom.
Yeah, certainly is. And Ravi, I'd like to open that up to you. We spoke about regional trends with you earlier. So how about investment trends when it comes to a regional take?
Yeah, I think the government has to support the industry with investments, because a lot of people are facing financial crunch in implementing these plants. So if the government is providing subsidies to these plants, then the large number of people will come up and put these plants, and that will help decarbonization. I think especially in the UK, we are now starting to see some funding coming from the government and also in the European region. So if the more and more funding these people get, they can install the plants and then contribute to the decarbonization. But this funding is very essential, and right now with the geopolitical issues, there are a lot of projects which are very uncertain, because they don't know whether they're going to go ahead with decarbonization or not. So a lot of projects are being stuck currently with the policies made by people in power. So we do hope that in few months it gets ironed out, and then we have a clear strategy for decarbonization.
Thanks, Ravi. And to complete this round robin, Jose Ramon, how about you? How do you see this when it comes to regions showing momentum in clean energy investment?
Well, are we talking worldwide or European level?
We'll take it from a European perspective.
Well, European level, I will say you have the European directive, and the way to transport or implement it in the countries is different. What I see is that there are some countries that are putting more energy and more resources to go, and other countries probably are benefiting for this. Let me put you one example. There are two countries at least, and not only these two, is Germany and UK, that are having a very good, even the Netherlands, very good, interesting incentive scheme related to produce biomethane and start to transform or to replace part of the natural gas that is coming from the grid, even from LNG, but in Germany mainly from the grid, with biomethane. And in this sense, are putting an incentive scheme that is essentially, let's say, allowing to commission plants that you are able to produce biomethane, and then you are doing in a reasonable time. This is helping to the rest of the countries, because as well, when you're going in another countries, you are always finding as well of takers that can take bio-LNG and to move it to the mobility area, either in UK, in Germany, or in another country. So I think that this is helping. Regionally, and very regionally, for instance, let me put an example that is clear. If for us in Spain, the regional Basque Country government has put the oxycombustion as one primary decarbonization area of interest, because it's obvious, and starting for the more basic thing, they are helping, and they are providing subsidies to the companies that want to implement oxy-fuel combustion solution to decarbonize to a certain level. And this is extremely interesting. And then I can put another example. You were talking about energy efficiency, the subsidies related to the energy savings to have more, let's say, well established and dimension, and then that we are recovering all the waste energy that we are let's say just sending to the atmosphere. This is helping as well. So I think Europe is doing more or less okay. The difference between one country and another, depending the areas, is important. And then European level, well, I will not like to position, because I can have maybe a provocative approach here, and I don't want to make myself to put myself in a problem. Sorry to be so politically correct.
Thank you for that, Jose Ramon. And it's great to get that unique perspective, isn't it, from 4 different corners of the industry.